So we're going to be going over transformations this week. We've done them previously in class, but some people have been absent, and also we've had 2 weeks away from school, and so some people could do with a reminder. And also, because we are doing distance learning, I think it's best to consolidate this rather than trying some brand new things. So we're going to start off with translating shapes. I'm going to talk you through this MyMaths lesson, and also talk you through the homework, and then you'll have a go at doing the homework yourself as your exercise. Okay, so objectives today are to look at translating shapes around a coordinate grid and to describe translations using vectors. Okay, so in this lesson you will learn how to move shapes around the grid using transformations. So you've got a coordinate grid here, we've got a shape, and a translation. You're going to say how far left or right and how far up and down the shape has moved. So we're not going to talk about it moving diagonally. It's just how far right and how far up it's gone. Okay. So we use a vector to show how much it's moved. So this is a vector. It's like brackets with numbers written above each other, and each number's got some meaning. So the top number will tell you how far right it's moved. So this vector will move it 3 right. And this next number will tell you how far up it moves. So the 2 tells you it moves 2 up. And then this shape here has been translated, and according to this vector here. I've got another example. This numbers are negative. So in this case, because it's how far right, minus 2 right actually means 2 to the left. And minus 5 in the up position means it's going to move 5 down. So positive numbers, it's going to be right and up. Negative numbers, it's going to be left and down. Okay, so we can practice using it using this. So I'll just show you a couple of examples. So if we say something like 3, 4, you can see that it has moved 3 to the right and 4 up. And if we have negative numbers, like I said, this top one moves it to the left, and this bottom number will move it down. Okay, and you can have any combination of that. So I could move it right and down, or I could move it left and up. And you can also see that if I leave one of them as 0, then in this case it hasn't moved any up at all. It stayed on the same height. Okay, so that's just a little bit of translating vectors there. So now we want to describe a translation. So we must give the vector, and we've got to remember that the top number is how far right and the bottom number is how far up. So F to E. So this triangle F to E. Now how many right? Well, it's actually moving left, isn't it? So it's going to be a minus number definitely. So I can put a minus in. Then how many? Now it's important that I don't just think, because I could think that just moving this 1 across would get me from this triangle to this triangle, but I've got to get to the same position. So from this position, it's 1, 2, 3 across. So that's minus 3. If I picked any other point, it would have been the same. So if I pick this corner corresponding to this corner, it's still 1, 2, 3. Then it's how far up, and it is moving up, so it's going to be a positive number. And you can see that 1, 2 up, and it's on the same level as that. Shape D onto G. So D onto G. So to start with, you can see it's going to be moving left and not right. So it's going to be a minus number. And then how many? If I pick this corner this time. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm level with this one. So it's 3 left. And then it's moving down, not up. So it's going to be a minus number again. And then let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down until I'm level with that. So it's minus 5. And then shape G onto shape E. So it's moving it left and not right. So it's going to be a minus number in the first one. And how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got to keep counting. 7, 8. I've got to keep counting until I get to the same position. Started on this point, so I've got to get to that point there. And then you can see it's not moved any up or down at all. So that's going to be the case where I put a 0 in there. Okay, let's check those. Got them all right. That's great. And let's have a look what's next. So copy this grid and then draw these translations. So I'm not going to be able to copy the grid out, but we can still count using the mouse cursor and see where it's going to be before we check the answers. So shape A, translate it 11 to, so that means 11 to the right and 2 up. So we can always just count. So we can take this corner and just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we know it goes there. But what we can also do is realize that we're moving 11 to the right. So if it was at minus 4, then going across 11 will get us up to 7. So we could just add 11 on. You have to do the same to every coordinate. So if that one's at minus 4, that one's at minus 4, they both go to 7. This one's at minus 5, it's going to go up to 6. And these ones at minus 6 are going to go over to 5. And then 2 up, so it's going to move 2 up as well. So let's just find out where one coordinate's going to be, so we just check we got it right before we look at the answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 2 up. So I'm going to have one, the top right corner should be there. So let's just check. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so you can just draw, you can just translate one coordinate across and then draw the shape in. But I'd advise getting at least a couple of coordinates and perhaps all of them, all the corners, so that you know exactly where the shape is and you don't just draw it wrong. Okay, let's have a look at B. So B is minus 3, minus 9. So that's 3 to the left and 3 down. So let's use coordinates this time. So this one is at 1, 1. So 3 to the left is going to go down to minus 2. And 9 down is going to go down to minus 8. So minus 2, minus 8. We think it's going to start here and be a shape like this. There we go. So you can just do it as easy as that. You can just add or subtract the coordinates if it's moving left or right, and then draw the rest of the shape in. And last one to have a look at. So translate shape C with vector minus 9, 8. So 9 to the left and 8 up. So let's pick this corner here. It's at 1. So minus 9 is going to get it down to minus 8. And then 8 up. So if it's currently at minus 3, it's going to go up to 5. So we think it's going to start there at minus 8, 5, and it's going to draw out like this. And yes, it is. Okay, so right. So that's the lesson. That's all you need to know in order to do the homework. But I will, for extra support, do a separate video for how to do the homework. And I can go through an example of that with you. And when you do the homework yourself, the shapes will be in slightly different positions. It'll ask you slightly different numbers. So I'll give you an idea of how to do it without giving you all the answers. So that might be helpful. But if you think you understand it well enough now, then you can go straight into the homework. Okay, that's it for this one.